Dirt Tracks is sponsored by Polaris, think outside. Yamaha, revs your heart. And by Kawasaki, let the good times roll.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good. What are you up to?
Oh, not too much. Not too much. I just wanted to ask you, I was out riding yesterday, and I came across a whole bunch of trees down across the trail. And I was wondering if we could take out your Ranger and clear that all up. My Sportsman's nowhere near big enough.
Yeah, that's not a problem. Actually, I'm not doing anything right now, so if you want to swing by, we can go take care of that this morning.
Okay, sounds great, man. I'll pop by soon.
See you in a bit.
Okay, see you, buddy.
Bye.
Bye.
Good morning, babe. Thank you. Lovely. So, what's on the docket? What's going on today?
Well, originally I was going to do some work around the house, but Luke has the Ranger, so I thought, seeing as the Razor's here, maybe we could go for a ride.
You do realize, though, you're not going to drive the whole time, though, right?
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Just as long as you know.
You can always tell when Tanner's coming.
How you doing?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I appreciate you saying we can take the Ranger today.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
It's going to be much nicer to clean that trail up.
I'm glad you called. I was looking for an excuse to get out on the trail anyway, so this is a perfect one.
Yeah, go cut some stuff up.
Yep. Did you bring your chainsaw?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. We're going to have a plethora of chainsaws.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we're going to be cutting all kinds of stuff. All right, well, why don't we get loaded up and we'll just roll out.
Yeah, sounds good, man. I have my helmet and stuff in the car, so I'll gear up.
All right.
Dirt Tracks is sponsored by Princess Auto. Make it work.
Well, that's a bit of a mess.
Yeah, I wasn't kidding.
Ranger to the rescue. Well, your Sportsman wasn't going to do any good here.
No, I'm glad we brought this, man.
If we,
There's some good firewood here.
yeah,
too,
if we
so.
can't get any of, get one of them out, we could pull it with the winch too. But I think we'll be fine to chop them all up. This would have been pretty hard to do just with an ATV. I mean, you could have brought your saw out for sure and cut the tree out.
Yeah, I could have definitely strapped my saw on to the front of my ATV, but like there's no way that I would have been able to bring all this firewood back with me.
You know, I reuse this Ranger, I would say pretty much every day to just do stuff around the yard. It seems so silly that it would be that functional, but the reality is you don't know how many jobs you can do with a Ranger until you have one.
Yeah.
And then you start doing them and it's like, man, what would I do without this thing?
All right, mister. Enough of you. Move over.
All right, fine.
Like a couple of kids again.
So I was thinking about going for an off-road ride today and taking either the Ranger or the RZR Turbo, but it looks like Luke and AJ are shooting with both of them. So you know what's left that we could take?
What?
The Polaris Slingshot, and I think we could make our way up to the lookout.
Get your helmet. Let's go.
I know a lot of people would say this isn't a motorcycle, but boy, it brings all the same feelings, the thrill, the fun, the open air, outdoor feel of a motorcycle. And this thing is just so much fun to drive and ride in.
Dirt Tracks is sponsored by Shock Strap. Start strapped, stay strapped.
Seeing as you soaked us and it's a cold fall day, I can't even feel my hands.
It's not totally my fault. Sometimes hard
Mom,
to
can you take my helmet off?
There you go.
They're like bricks. What did you think?
I loved
This is your
it.
first time driving a turbo.
Yeah, it is. I loved it. It handled well. It was comfortable.
Yeah. Did you like the screen for when you're backing up?
I did. There's a couple times where I had to back up back there. Felt like I was in control the whole time, which is what I like to do.
I'm glad. Yeah. Glad you didn't feel out of control.
never gets old coming up here, does it?
Well, we've been coming since before our honeymoon. We came here on our honeymoon. And
Yeah.
it's just as beautiful.
Yeah, I remember I had a 77 Ford van. And we came up here in April, the year we got married. Yeah, it's beautiful up here. This little town really has a lot to offer. Kind of cool coming up in a convertible Slingshot too. Kind of neat.
Yeah, I was going to say, I want to drive that sometime.
You want to drive it on the way back? Okay, I need a break. I'm really getting stressed out.
Well, hand over the keys.
Okay.
Closed captioning of dirt tracks is sponsored by MBRP Performance Exhaust. Race inspired, trail proven.
When it comes to side-by-sides, I wouldn't say that Yamaha's main identifier is performance. Yeah, I know, YXZ performance side-by-side, and an innovative one at that. But every other side-by-side in their lineup, even ones touted as performance trail models, have fallen short of our performance expectations. So you'll have to forgive me if when the Wolverine RMAX 1000 was released, I was a bit skeptical. I've heard all the same marketing hype lines from them before. You know the saying, once bitten, twice shy? That applies to my expectations of the RMAX. Fortunately, my dirt-addicted friends, my main goal for today is to try to relay to you just how misplaced my skepticism was about this new model and convey just how impressive I think the new RMAX actually is. There's a trend among the Japanese manufacturers not to release official horsepower numbers for their performance side-by-side models, which I think is just silly. So while there are no official claims here, unofficially it's been confirmed that the all-new 999cc parallel twin-cylinder engine found under the hood of the RMAX produces more than 100 horsepower, possibly closer to 110, give or take a few. If you really put the design and specifications of the RMAX up against other side-by-sides in the industry, it couldn't be more evident that this model is aimed directly at Polaris's General XP, whose engine only makes 100 horsepower. So clearly the RMAX came to play. In fact, nearly every specification of the RMAX is either on par or one-ups the current class-demolishing General XP itself. 64-inch wide double A-arms produce 14.2 inches of travel out front and 16.9 inches of travel out back, and all four corners are damped by a set of Fox 2.0 QS3s and are finished with a set of 14-inch aluminum wheels wrapped in 30-inch Maxxis carnivores. 13.8 inches of ground clearance, 600 pounds of bed capacity, and 2,000 pounds of towing capacity round out the specs here. Speaking of bed capacity, just like the General, the RMAX includes a full-size dumping cargo bed with one-hand tailgate. In the US, the RMAX comes in 3 flavors and in both 2- and 4-seat configurations. There's a base model, the XTR like we have here, and the limited edition. In Canada, we get only the base model and an SE model, which is identical to the US's XTR. Why it's not called an XTR in Canada is completely beyond me. The XTR, or SE in Canada as it were, includes a few upgrades over the base model, most notably of which is Yamaha's D-Mode multi-throttle profile system that includes 3 different throttle modes: Sport, Trail, and Crawl. It also gets a premium bumper with included 4,500-pound Warn winch, 30-inch Maxxis carnivore tires, interior lighting, a rear-view mirror, and, for some reason, a 1.5-gallon increase in fuel capacity. The interior of the RMAX is a mix of highs and lows for me. The first low point is the dash, in particular this panel right here. Now I know this space is reserved for the upgraded display on the US-only LE model, and it does hide a small cubby space behind it, but the door itself just looks unfinished. I think this door could have been better executed. The second interior gripe both AJ and I could not come to terms with: the roll cage mounted shoulder bolsters. Now, I get why they're there, to keep you and your arms in should a rollover ever happen. But the execution is, to be blunt, terrible. They're hard plastic. They intrude way too far into the seating area and therefore push a bigger person like me to the side. They are also just plain uncomfortable. On a vehicle with a highs list as amazing as this one, I expect much better execution in an area like this. Interior high points. Let's go through the list. Excellent seats. They're well bolstered, comfortable, and supportive. A great steering wheel that's really grippy, the industry's best adjustable grab handle, really nice door setup, and an innovative feature that I cannot believe nobody has thought of before now. Soft padded touch points for both of your knees to rest against while driving. My knees get banged around and bruised up pretty good in nearly every other sport or sport utility side-by-side I've ever driven. Here, they're treated like royalty. If you think this is a small point, you are dead wrong. So overall, a winning interior in my opinion. But what about how it performs? This truly is the big question and the area previous Wolverine models have fallen short for me. Let's start with performance and the 3 different throttle modes. First is sport mode. Now, throttle response here is very jumpy, too jumpy. It's nearly impossible to be smooth with the throttle, especially if the terrain is bumpy. In the dunes, maybe it would work fine, but anywhere else on the planet, it needs to have the initial throttle tip-in softened up quite a bit. Trail mode is where I spent most of my time. It offers smooth and controllable throttle response in all conditions, but ramps the power up quickly when you really stand on it. It's great. Crawl mode is great for, shocker, crawling. It softens throttle response big time and filters out any jerky foot movements when you're getting tossed around in the rocks, allowing for buttery smooth throttle inputs. Power steering is something both AJ and I thought could use some attention. For high speed running, the assist level remains way too high. It's twitchy and nervous and doesn't give an on-center feel at all. In the trail or in the rocks, it is perfect, which leads us to wonder, why couldn't the power steering assist level change as you change the D mode throttle settings? Suspension is, again, not as well suited to high-speed riding as it is to trail riding and crawling. At high speeds, the RMAX feels a bit top-heavy and has an above-average amount of body roll. You can still rip it hard, but compared to a general, it doesn't corner anywhere near as flat. On the trail, though, the suspension is phenomenal. On the trail, as the speeds get higher and higher, the suspension just seems to work better and better. It's plush and provides an incredibly smooth ride, but it feels bottomless, as evidenced by the fact that I didn't bottom it during our testing, not even once, no matter how hard I tried. We think QS3s are awesome, and these ones are excellent, but are tuned a little on the stiff side in my opinion. The soft setting should be softer, and the current soft setting should be the medium setting. But other than that, the RMAX rides fantastic on the trail. Likewise, in the rocks, the softer suspension settings allow maximum articulation. Paired with those awesome 30-inch Carnivore tires, the RMAX is a borderline rock crawler. To summarize this longer than average review, I want to state what type of rider I think the RMAX is best suited for. If you're the type of rider who sticks mostly to high-speed fire roads or smoother, wider trails, the RMAX is fine, but there might be better options for you. But if you're the type of rider who spends most of your time on regular trails with rough sections, some mud, and some rocks, I'm going to make the very bold statement that I don't think there's a better side-by-side on the market right now that also offers the functionality and utility of a dumping cargo box. The RMAX is it.
If you've enjoyed this segment, make sure you hit the like button. And also comment down below because we love hearing from our fans and we try to reply as much as possible. And also, make sure you subscribe because here at Dirt Trax, we've always got cool stuff coming your way.